Hi, welcome to NonStopChess channel. In the previous video, we learned about the perpetual check. Today, we will teach how, as a beginner, can defend the scholar's mate or the 4-move mate. Made this video since one of the chess enthusiasts felt so bad losing in 4 moves. As a beginner, it is difficult to see all the threats. It's okay to lose since we learn by losing. Try to delay the checkmate by improving the defense after each game. Always, it's good to analyze after each game with the chess master to see how you can defend it better. Let's now see what is a scholar's mate. White opens with e4 and black usually responds with e5. Immediately, white will play queen h5. The idea is it is trying to target the f7 square, and since this e5 pawn is attacked, as a beginner we will play nc6, so we are protecting this e5. White then will play bishop c4. As a beginner, we will try to move the knight, thinking we can attack the queen and play this move, and they just simply play queen into f7, checkmate. So this is the scholar's mate, or also called 4-move mate. Now, as a beginner, I will teach you how to defend it and play the correct defense so you don't get mate in 4 moves. Now, let's go back to the position where b c4 white is playing. So now, as a beginner, keep in mind the f7 square and the f2 square is the most vulnerable squares, since in the beginning the king alone is protecting it. Example, the white king alone is protecting the f2 square and the black king alone is protecting the f7 square. All the other squares, if you see, is protected by other pieces. Rook, bishop, this pawn is protected by this knight, this bishop, the king and this queen, and this pawn is protected by the 3-piece and the knight. Similarly, all the pawns will be protected by other piece except these 2 pawns. So be careful with the opening to protect this. The easiest way is actually to play the e6, which usually solves most of this problem, but that is a French defense and you need to play after learning that French defense. Okay, now assuming you are reached this position, I'll teach you how to defend it correctly. In this position, always see, now as a black, how you have to visualize is, this pawn is in attack like in yellow color, and this pawn is also in attack which is in yellow color, but this pawn in red, which means this pawn, black doesn't have enough support to protect this pawn. This is how, as a beginner, you have to visualize. So this pawn needs more protection, right? Now, how to defend it? You can bring in this queen to protect it, but the rule is the bishop gets blocked, so you have to castle. So what is the best move here is g6. Now once you play g6 here, now this pawn, all the red color is changed because they all are attacked, but it is being sufficiently protected. So now the queen is under attack, so white is forced to move this. Since white is forced, he will then try one more trick to checkmate you soon. So he will play usually the next move queen f3. The idea is again to, again if you see, this is a red color showing this square is again not defended. This red color indicates the number of attack is more than the number of defense. Though this threat looks very dangerous, sometimes by playing a simple move you can avoid this threat. Just play knight f6. See, now the threat is eliminated and this looks like attacked, but it is protected by the queen. And now black is getting ready for this bishop to come here and castle, and this pawn will be, after castle, will be protected by the king and the rook. That's the idea. So one more final attempt by white will be made. So he'll now try to move his queen to b3. Again, if you see, this f7 pawn is targeted. Now the only way to support this f7 pawn is by the queen alone. No other piece can come to support it. So as a beginner, if you play this, you are now fully supported and white is not developed and is moved the queen so many times. In fact, if you play the correct moves, you can beat your opponent. The correct way is first move your knight here and try to exchange one of this the bishop. So by that way the bishop and the queen battery is eliminated. Hope this move will now help all the beginners to play the scholar's mate defense and help not to get checkmated in 4 moves. To summarize, always before making a move, think what is the threat. Check, is there any piece or pawn is unprotected. Here we can see if a pawn is in yellow color, it means it is attacked, but there is sufficient protection. If the number of attack is more than the number of defense, bring in more defense to support the piece. That's what we did. This pawn was under attack and only one piece was supporting is, that is the king, and there were 2 pieces that was attacking this pawn. So we brought in the queen to support this f7. Think of it like this. In the real world, if 3 people come to attack you, you will need 3 people to support you. Similarly, in chess, if 3 pieces are attacking you, you will need 3 equal number of pieces to support it. Hope now all beginners will not get mated using the scholar's mate trap. Happy learning. If you like the video, share it with your other chess friends. Thanks for watching and your subscription.